Don't buy a Ford Ranger Sport. Don't buy a Toyota Hilux SR5. Well, don't buy until you've at least watched this review, because I think that this is a perfect alternative to both of those cars, especially since this thing is a lot cheaper. So this is the XTR. It starts at 61,000, but this is the limited edition, the LE. That adds $8,000 to the price, almost $69,000. Nice. For that, you get a bull bar, you get a sports bar, and tub liner. So you save yourself about $3,000 by doing that. But even if you were to avoid this one and just get the standard XTR, you're saving yourself about $8,000 or $9,000 compared to the Ford Ranger or the Toyota Hilux. So that's a pretty big win, especially when you see what this thing is. It's essentially the best of all worlds. But before we get into the review, make sure you get your next finance with Driver. Driver is our channel partner. We wholeheartedly believe in them. They will get you the best possible price for your next car loan, even in this high inflation environment we're in today. All you need to do is click the link below or the pinned comment that'll take you to Driver. You can compare a bunch of different financing options tailored for you, get pre-approved in under 2 minutes with no impact to your credit score, and they are consumer focused, so they bid for what's best for you and not the highest commission. That's awesome. So click the link in the description below or the pinned comment. Jacob, let's review this bad boy. Okay, so the XTR LE. First of all, you can only get it in one color, and that's this ingot silver, they call it. It's pretty nice. Kind of like it. You get this bull bar here. It matches that. It's all chromed up. It's kind of cool. Look, usually when you go out and buy yourself a bull bar, they're all tested, stuff like that. If you cheap out, you can often get one that's not crash tested. Obviously, this is all past all the crash testing, so I like it. It just integrates really, really well. And then down the bottom, you get a nice little bash plate there with BT-50 in it. I think that's cool. The headlights here are nice and slim. This is Mazda's Kodo design language. Ooh, minimalism. We like that, I guess, kind of. They do have cool daytime running lights. They are really bright as well, even though they're so small. They're tiny. But you know what? They work, okay? They're tiny, but they work. They're tiny, but they work and they do a great job. Some might say they do better than bigger ones. You get a nice Mazda grille here. Obviously, this is based on the Isuzu D-Max. Really, the only differences are the exterior design, and this thing comes with a 5-year unlimited kilometer warranty, whereas the D-Max comes with a 6-year 150,000 kilometer warranty. So if you're gonna be driving heaps, just get the Mazda. You'll be better off for it. Shall we check out the side? Okay, so coming to the side, first thing you're gonna notice are these. These are the 18-inch wheels, same as the standard XTR. They're wrapped in Bridgestone Jeweler highway terrain tires. They're good. You're not gonna be going off-road in them, but that's okay, because on-road, they're actually pretty decent, and that does help with the driving, as you'll see in a moment. Again, this ingot silver paint color, I kinda like it. You've got these side steps here. That's meaty. This, Jacob, this is the star of the show. Get on over here. Let's have a look. Have a look at this. I feel it. $8,000. Look, it's not quite that much on its own, but I guess it adds to the looks. Without it, it would just look a bit boring, maybe. But I don't know. You be the judge. You be the judge of if that package is worth it. Otherwise, it's just a dual cab Ute. Let's check out the back. Okay, and then coming to the derriere of the BT-50, you can see that the back end is slightly different to the D-Max. You get these pretty basic looking lights, I suppose. I mean, they're fine. There's no cool Ute lights out there, I think, anyway. Got a reverse camera here. It's actually a really good reverse camera system. You've also got your Mazda badge there, as you can see. Got a little step there. The car's very dusty because we have been off-road today.
As we should have been.
On gravel, really, but still, made it dirty, okay? And also, you do get a full-size spare underneath, although that's pretty common for the segment. And then, let's talk about this. Oh, that is heavy. There's no assistance there. It's not like the Ford Ranger with its ultra-light boot, or even the GWM Cannon X. That Ute thing, that actually has a really cool system there that gives you a step, but we don't get it here.
But you know what? It's actually not as heavy as the Hilux.
No, it's not as heavy as the Hilux. But it's still great. As you can see, the tub is fully tub-lined. Again, as part of that package, the limited edition package. Okay, so let's get in the back. So let me tell you about the specs. So the dimensions here sit somewhere between the Toyota Hilux being bad and the Ford Ranger being really good. So the length is 1509 millimeters. That's actually really good. The width is 1560 millimeters, and between the arches, it's 1134 millimeters. And then the height is 519 millimeters. So all in all, a really decent space. And again, it's all lined, and you get this, a sports bar. I really don't know what the purpose of them is. I guess you can lean stuff on top. I don't know. Someone tell me in the comment section below, apart from aesthetics. Alrighty, so coming to the interior now of the BT-50 XTR. Jacob?
LE.
Jacob,
What?
what do you think?
I really like it.
I really like it too. You have this like, ooh, soft touch material up here. Very unheard of for a ute. It's scratchy plastic there, and you can kind of see the joinery of the plastic there, which is not great. But this is all nice and soft. Oh, this steering wheel feels so good. It actually does. It's really nice and soft. It's huge. Nice to grab onto. And did I mention, oh, it's nice and softly padded there as well. It's not the most practical, but it does a pretty good job. So you've got a split glove box here, which is pretty nice. Weirdly, the BT-50 doesn't get these like side cup holders that you get in a D-Max. Instead, you just get these two here, but they're so tall, Jacob, that you can't like get a coffee in there.
They de-lid you.
It de-lids. It's pretty awful, right? Let's be honest though, if you're getting a coffee in the morning, that does kind of suck. Technology in here is really a middle point between the Ranger and the Hilux. Really the theme of this video. Up in front of you, get a really small little display, but it does show you plenty of information, so I actually don't mind it. You've also got some analog gauges there too. And in the center is a pretty massive infotainment display. No, it's not the most beautiful. No, it's not the sharpest, and yeah, it can definitely get washed out, especially in bright light, but it works fine. You've got wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I've got no complaints. It's not like in your face like the huge tablet is in the Ranger.
No, but it's functional and it works.
Correct. And it means that you get your air conditioning controls laid out here. You got this like digi analog setup. Oh, I love it. I think it's so cool, man.
I think it's really intuitive.
Really intuitive. In terms of charging, you do have a 12-volt socket here, a single USB port and an auxiliary point. That's not, I don't know, that's a bit old school.
Yeah, it's a bit outdated there.
Yeah, no USB-C or just more than one. Whatever, that's fine, I guess. Up in front, though, you do have a little storage area for your phone. That's pretty good. You've also got your four-wheel drive select here. So this is a part-time four-wheel drive. That means it's usually a two-wheel drive to the rear wheels. If you press 4 high, it puts it in four-wheel drive mode, of course, and then 4 low, you do need to be neutral for that. But it's all good. It's all good for off-roading. How good's that?
It's not our forte, is it?
It's not our forte. And by the way, if you want to see this thing off-road, let us know in the comment section. Maybe we'll make another video on that. You've got a rear locking diff here. You've also got hill descent control. But otherwise, it's pretty basic because this is the XTR, which is not the highest trim by any stretch. It's still 2 above this. So you do get these cloth seats with, is that a little bit of leather?
There is definitely a strip of leather.
It's like a tiny little strip of like leather or faux leather. I don't know, a little, I mean, what would you call it?
You know, it's literally the epitome of this car. It's like a dash of luxury.
Yeah.
And the rest is just cloth.
Look, I would go so far as to say it's a little bit of leather for your cock. But otherwise, these seats are really comfy. They are manually adjusting, not that I really care. They work well. You've also got a really well padded center armrest with plenty of storage there too. The thing that this car does really, really well is its speaker situation. So I don't know about you guys, but I love having good sounding speakers. I hate having bad sounding ones. Jacob, you've been living with this? How is it?
It's really good, actually. Surprisingly so.
Surprisingly
Thanks to
so.
the little head speakers.
The little head speakers. They call it live surround sound. So there's speakers in the roof firing down. It just makes it, I don't know. The speaker system in here is awesome. Really, really good. No complaints. Let's check out the back seats.
Let's.
Okay, so coming to the back seats now, like most other utes, you can lift a little latch here, pull that forward, get a bit of back storage, although not much. It really just gives you access to your anchor points for your child seats. You can also pull this and lift that up, super light. It's almost like on a spring system, Jacob.
Wow.
Then you just hook it in there and you've got a little bit of hidden storage underneath there too. So that's all good. Or if you have them both up, then you get quite a lot of extra storage space for inside the car. That's awesome.
We like that.
We like that a lot. Okay, so climbing in, we can grab this handle here, pull ourselves in. It's actually really easy to do. I'm 5'11", so not the tallest human being, but got quite a lot of headroom there, heaps of legroom, and heaps of tow room as well. So that's all really good. You've got a couple of air vents back here. Again, nice to have. A weird little storage area, plus another USB-A port. Probably would have been better if there were two, because a lot of people have two kids. Or two mates. I don't know. I don't have any of that. Anyway, moving on. You've got a little hook here. It's max 4 kilos. You can hang your shopping off there or whatever. Very Hiluxy. I think they stole that from there. Map pockets there. And you've got this, which is a nice center armrest with a couple of cup holders. I guess that's where you put your coffee, mate.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to sit in the back to have a coffee.
It's all right. Nothing like a backseat driver. Okay, so the engine. Now, you're not going to be surprised to find out that this is the exact same as what you'll find in an Isuzu D-Max. That means it's the 4JJ3 3-litre 4-cylinder turbo diesel engine. And before all you fanboys of Toyota go, Toyota reliability, guess what, Jacob?
What?
This is one of the most reliable 4-cylinder turbo diesels ever. Yes, it's had issues with its DPF, its diesel particulate filter. It's like a little system that lies within the exhaust system and it burns off the bad diesel filters, essentially. And yes, this thing can get blocked, but just like the Toyota Hilux, which had the exact same issue and recall. So unfortunately, that's not a problem with the engine, that's a problem with emissions. Anyway, this thing puts out 140 kilowatt and 450 Newton meters of torque. No, that's not the best at all. The Toyota Hilux does have a little bit more power, 150 kilowatt, 500 Newton meters of torque, and the Ford Ranger has about the same, maybe a little bit more with its 4-cylinder. Obviously, its 6-cylinder is even more than that. But I don't know, man, I really like this thing.
Yeah, it's a good engine.
And all of the power goes through a 6-speed automatic, which is also pretty good. But what better way to show that than by timing the launch, Jacob? Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay, friend, now we're going to launch the BT-50. What do you reckon it's going to do 0 to 100?
Whew, okay, I'm going to say 12.4 seconds.
12.4. Ooh, that's probably a bit pessimistic. I'm going to say 11.1.
Okay.
Tickle my little pickle. It's going to bog down, but let's do it anyway.
Oh, God.
Come on, baby. Come on. Come on.
We're halfway there.
So how's your day, babe?
Oh, it's been all right. How's the missus?
Should right.
Okay.
Oh!
It's actually not as bad as I thought.
0 to 100 in 10.95 seconds. All right, let's drive this thing very normally.
Okay.
All righty. So,
did you just beep with your forearm by accident and then try and play it off like it was on purpose? Jesus.
no. Did you?
I'm not driving. That was a pretty good, what's the word? Entry angle?
Okay, so driving normally. The Mazda BT-50, we're on saucy gravel road, truly puts these cars to the test because often rear-wheel drive cars like this like to fishtail all around, but this is doing a pretty decent job.
We're not fishtailing.
We're not fishtailing, and it's actually quite comfy as far as utes go.
I can't complain.
It feels like a ute, but like, it's
It
comfy.
looks like a ute too.
Oh.
There is a large dust cloud behind us, bro.
There is a large dust cloud behind us, but we don't care about dust clouds, do we? Not where we come from. We're just inner city boys. What we like to do is give cars
The sauce.
the sauce.
On asphalt.
Shall we?
Yes.
Bubbity boop. Come on, baby.
Come
Traction.
on, give us some power. Oh, yeah.
Look, it's a ute, right?
It is a turbo diesel ute.
It is a turbo. What's wrong with my language? I think I might be having a stroke.
Do you want me to check on your vitals, bro?
Yeah. What is it? What's the?
What's the test you do?
I don't even
You
know.
read backwards.
Let's just get back to this. One of my favorite things about the BT-50 is that it just feels like a goddamn car. Right? I know I've just gone against everything I've said, but as far as dual cab utes go, it's just a really solid place to be. It's relatively quiet on the inside. The interior feels really premium, not overdone. You're not like burdened with technology. It's almost like a Goldilocks.
Okay, yeah, I see that.
A halfway
Yeah.
point between the Ranger and the Hilux.
I would 100% agree.
Where the Hilux is on the poo end, and the Ranger is on the shoe end. That is good.
Isn't the Hilux more expensive than this?
Way more expensive. And that's one of the benefits of getting a BT-50 or an Isuzu D-Max, really, is that it's just a run-of-the-mill good ute.
Plus, while still being comfortable.
Plus, the 4JJ3 engine that this thing has, the big 3-litre 4-cylinder, probably has to be the biggest 4-cylinder I've ever driven, doesn't put out much power, doesn't put out much torque. Putting our foot down here, it's nothing spectacular, but it's very reliable.
100%.
4JJ3 is one of the most reliable engines that have ever come out of really any Japanese car maker. And yes, they do have DPF issues, diesel particulate filter, but that's not a fault of the engine, that's a fault of emissions. So I'm not really going to hold it against it.
And that's not exactly unique to this car either.
No, the Hilux was just recalled for that issue, and I'm sure the Ford Ranger is going to have the same issue.
You reckon?
Yeah. I know, big call, but they all do.
But you know what's not going to get recalled, bro?
What?
Giving it the sauce.
You know my trigger word, bro. That's right. This thing look, it's not going to blow your mind around a corner, but let's give it some sauce and see how it performs. The steering is pretty well weighted, actually. It is definitely on the lighter end, but I mean, that's a good thing if you're going to be using this as your daily work truck. Let's not push it too hard because this is not a permanent all-wheel drive, which does kind of suck. It is a rear-wheel drive, but it does have a four-wheel drive system, but you can only use that when you're off-road.
I feel like that's going to cock a wheel, man.
It's funny, we're not going there very fast at all. We're not breaking the speed limit, that's for sure. It's doing a decent job. Nothing spectacular, but none of these utes do. The 6-speed automatic here does a great job too. It's just a very smooth gearbox. You don't really notice it. It's God-given number of gears, by the way, 6. Not the stupid 10-speed you get elsewhere. Looking at you, Ranger.
Yeah, 10-speed just feels too confused.
Oh, it's like, because it's changing up gears every 3 seconds. This is like good. I don't know. It almost feels like they haven't reinvented the wheel. They've just refined everything, and that's the important part. I say they. As I said, this is really an Isuzu under the skin, but like it's just such a good choice.
It's a Goldilocks. That's the perfect word for it.
Goldilocks.
Because it's not too little and not too much. And look where we are.
Look where we are. Tickle my pickle. Oh, what a torquey engine.
Wow.
Not
really punchy.
Actually, of all engines in this class, it's got one of the least amounts of torque. All right, we're gonna have to do the old two-hand here. Come on.
I'm also two-handy.
Stop cutting power. I believe in you.
Oh, wow. Okay. Ooh.
Come on, baby.
And it cuts
completely cut the power. That's one of the things this has. So it actually has really good like active safety. It will legitimately drive itself. If we do this, we set it here, we put the steering wheel thing on. Look at this. It's going to turn this corner by itself. I don't even have to, don't do this at home, by the way. Ah! Okay, don't take your hand.
I knew it wouldn't.
Don't take your hands off the steering wheel. But it will literally drive itself down the highway.
On a freeway.
Yeah.
With very distinct lines. Yes.
With your hands on the steering wheel. It does like to beep a little bit. Some people are definitely going to find this a bit intrusive, but you're going to find it across pretty much every ute, except for the older ones, which frankly just have less safety. So
I think you're better having the feature and being able to turn it off than not having it at all.
I agree. And I don't mind it, honestly.
Yeah,
I don't mind it at all.
You know what this is, man? It's like a more premium Isuzu D-Max.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
In maybe like 3% more premium.
Exactly.
Because it's literally almost the same. Yeah. All right, let's get into our final thoughts. Okay, so final thoughts on the... Sorry, wrong ute. Okay, so final thoughts on the Mazda BT-50. Jacob, you first.
Honestly, it's the same as the Isuzu D-Max, which is already like a Goldilocks, perfect in the middle. So this kind of fills that extra niche.
I think so. I think that this is a really good, almost bargain buy. I don't know if this LE is the spec you need. Just go for the standard XTR, save yourself almost 10 grand and go on a holiday. I don't know. I really like this thing. I think it ticks all the right boxes, but let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Just below that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. We would love to have you around. Click over there to get best financing deals. Click over there to watch our Toyota Hilux SR5 review. We we did not like that car, or our Ford Ranger review. We did like that car. Ciao for now.
See ya.